Welcome back, everybody, to the next amazing episode of Surviving Life's Pickles. We are so excited to be here this week with you. And again, we could not be here doing this week after week without all of you and you're listening in and sharing. And we are so grateful for all of our friends, family, listeners, coworkers, and followers that have just enjoyed this journey with us, and it keeps growing. And so I just want to start out by saying thank you again, because we do this for you guys. We do this to share information with our community and to navigate life's challenges and survive all the pickles together. And today I'm joined with my beautiful wife, Hillary.
Hi, guys.
And it's just us today. We once in a while we like to do these just us, and I'm excited about today's episode. It's gonna
Yeah.
be really fun.
Yeah, I think we got some good information to share on this
Yeah.
one. So,
Well, I'm going to start us off because I know how much you love when I make you start off our gratitude. And
yeah.
if anybody has not turned into one of these episodes before, we start off all our episodes with what we're grateful for in the moment. And that just really helps set the tone for what we're going to talk about for the day and just brings the mood on where it needs to be.
I
And
agree. Yeah. It sets the mood like you said, but it also I don't know, it's something that we get to share every day and reflect on as
yeah,
well. So,
well, and it just, again, being grateful is one of the best ways to enrich your life.
it is.
So today, I am on this theme of sharing songs that influence me. And today, I'm just grateful for Hillary.
Aw, thanks, babe.
I Some days I have rough days, some days I have great days, some days I have mediocre days. But no matter what type of day I'm having, Hillary shows up the same way for me every time. And if anybody's been to our house, they know that in our living room, we have three big poster pictures that
Mhm.
are framed beautifully in old barn wood. And our friend Lewis, shout out to Lewis, helped us get those all set up and pretty. But I got them from Hillary right after we got engaged.
Yeah. Was it birthday or Christmas? I can't remember.
I think it was the Christmas.
Yeah,
No, it was your birthday.
I
I
think it
got
was
them for your
birthday.
birthday right before we got engaged.
Yeah.
And it was right after she had moved in as well, and so I wanted to bring something into the house that was for her to make her feel welcome.
Mhm.
And what I did is there was three songs that really stood out that really reminded me of her. And today, like I say, I'm really grateful for her and how she shows up. One of the songs that we have on our wall is "You Make It Easy" by Jason Aldean.
Mhm.
And there's just a couple little verses that I want to read part of this song that really lay out why I'm grateful for you.
Mhm.
And here it is. You make it easy, loving up on you. Make it easy with every little thing you do. You are my sunshine in the darkest days, my better half, my saving grace. You make me who I want to be. You make it easy. You took all the rough around the edges. Never let it ruffle up your feathers. Angel. Yeah, I'm down for life. You got me wrapped up around your finger, and I like it. Just in case you can't tell, you make it easy, loving up on you.
Mhm.
And that just, I'm just filled because today was a little bit of a stressful day, and you just being you made it better by coming home and just, again, you're that steady rock in this family of always being there for all of us. And so that's what I'm grateful for today.
Aw, babe, you made me cry. Thank you. Ah, how do I top that one?
You don't talk to that one.
No.
This isn't a contest.
I know. Um, let's see. Today, I am grateful for accomplishments. I finished a project at work that every year I dread, and it's super stressful, always causes me a little worry that I'm never going to get it done in time or that I'm going to mess something up. And after completing it, just that sense of accomplishment that I get to feel, I am grateful for that. I worked really hard on this project. Uh, I also had to, when I first started doing it years ago, it was something that I never ever imagined myself doing. And being able to even navigate something like that, and the fact that I'm the only person in the office now that knows how to do it, and it gives me a sense of pride. So I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's my
cool.
gratitude for
Yeah,
today, and I'm always grateful for you
yeah.
and everything that you do for me.
Well, we wouldn't be doing this if we weren't on that same page.
Yeah.
Oh, well, everybody, I'm excited. We had the opportunity a few weeks ago to do a little suicide prevention lunch and learn with one of my customers.
Mhm.
We got to do some stuff with my day job, selling them heavy equipment parts and stuff, and talk about a few things and projects they have going on there in their job site. But then we also got invited and asked to have a little suicide prevention course. And I will tell you, I was nervous going into it because some of these guys, these are new customers. I've just started
Mhm.
doing business with these guys over the last year. And so they're not like my normal, hey, I've been doing business with these guys for 10, 15 years type guys. And so I don't quite know the dynamic very well. Going into it,
Mhm.
even I think you could see that everybody was a little on edge,
A little bit.
and it was all men. They did have their scale house lady that was there, but she was in the back still working, but was listening in. And so we had a group of 21 guys
Mhm.
that were in this room, and these guys are hardworking guys in the sand and gravel industry. And I told a little bit about my story. We talked about suicide prevention. We talked about signs to watch out for. These are kind of the things that they'd asked. And as we kept going, you could see that everybody's faces, these were hardened men, like I said,
They were a little reserved.
they were reserved, and you've seen the softness kind of starting to come out. You've seen them starting to relax a little bit.
Mhm.
But there was a key moment,
Yeah.
and they have a boss. And I could not read him. I'll be 100% honest. I couldn't really read what was going on in the room. He's very stoic,
Mhm.
um, very, very smart man, very quiet guy, sits back, listens. And most guys that have an IQ as like his, that's kind of how they are. Is they really like to sit back and listen and watch.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know how it was going because he just had the same poker face on the whole time.
Mhm.
But as I got finished, he said he wanted to say a few words. And what he did not only just made me just love this man, but every guy in there that worked for him, it changed their entire attitude.
Yeah. You could actually almost see just the tension come out of the room like a sigh of relief
Yeah.
from the other men in that room.
Yeah. And what he did is he stood up and he says, guys, I want to be that person for you. I want to be that safe place. He's like, my door, is open. But what I'm saying is, my door is very open. My door is really open for you. I want to be that guy that you come and talk to. I want to listen. I am here. This is personal for me. I care about every single one of you. And I want to be that person when you're in your time of need that you feel safe coming to. And it just floored me. And today I was there on site again, and two of the guys had come up to me and they had told me that they had pulled him aside at like the next day or the day after and told him how much they appreciated what he said in there and how much it made them feel more welcome and how they never wanted to leave working for a place with management that actually truly cared. And they said thank you.
Mhm.
And it's amazing what vulnerability can do to a group of men or to a group of anybody when you break down all the walls and you're just there, you're you. And vulnerability is so powerful in that nature.
Mhm.
And we've really been diving into this a little bit lately.
Yeah.
And I know you've got a few things to share. And I've got one other story that I've kind of shared. I don't know if I shared the full story here, but I've shared a lot when I do my public speaking.
Yeah.
And I've got another customer who was going through a hard time in his life, and he was just being a dick. I mean, and he'll admit it. He was being rude to his guys. He was being short with them. His temper was just, it was a short fuse. And he finally realized it and realized that his personal problems didn't need to affect what he was dealing with them. And he called them all in the office and kind of did the same thing. He said, "Hey, guys, I'm going through a hard time. I apologize for the way I've treated you. This is what's going on in my life." And he laid it out. He
Yeah.
laid out what was going on. And the fact that he was, I mean, that right there is the source of a true man to me, is admitting your faults, being vulnerable, and letting your walls down so people can see who you really are at your core. And that's what he did in this meeting. And he did the same thing. He says, "Guys, if you need somebody to talk to, or if you need something, come in my office. It's always open." And since then, and this was almost a year ago, since that's happened, I have seen that entire location transform. The morale is amazing. The guys are hardworking. The respect for one another is just bar none. Like, I don't have very many other places that have the respect for everybody, each other, on a job site like this place. And it's all because he was willing to be vulnerable and say, "I'm sorry. This is what's going on. I'm going to be better. I would appreciate a little grace from you guys, but my door's open because I want you to know that this is safe for you to come in as well." And he's had a few guys take him up on that. And the power of that is just overwhelming. I just can't say enough of what happens to an environment, to a workplace, when people break down those walls and they're vulnerable. It's just quite in awe.
Mhm. I agree. I wonder what made him come to that decision to share his vulnerability, or
Well,
even what made him realize he was being a dick.
some of that comes back to a conversation I had with him,
Really.
because I had sat down and been very vulnerable with him,
Mhm.
kind of just let him know, this is what's been going on with me. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. We really hadn't had that conversation. I mean, we're really good friends now for sure. But I broke down those walls with him,
Mhm.
and I was vulnerable. I let him see that side of me. And I think that helped him realize and see, kind of reflect what was going on with him, and that he could do the same thing. And that's the power of vulnerability, is it's inspiring
It's contagious.
and contagious. It'll inspire a group of 5. It'll inspire a group of 1,000. If you're vulnerable and you're out there and you're being your real self, that's when people want to be around you.
Mm.
That's when people want to do what you're doing. That's when people want to follow you,
Mhm.
is when you are just being that true person.
Yeah. There is a difference between vulnerability and sharing your dirty laundry with everyone as well.
Absolutely. I
So,
mean, you just don't want to get out there and say, "Hey, this all happened," and badmouth. That's a whole
mhm.
different side of things.
Yeah.
It's when you're taking ownership,
Mhm.
is when you're being vulnerable. You're taking ownership of your own life, and you're sharing your struggles and your wins
Mm.
with people. It's not just the struggles, it's also sharing the wins,
Yeah.
because you have to be able to receive. And that's the part of vulnerability that I think a lot of people don't see. It's, you give vulnerability out by being vulnerable, but you also need to be receptive.
Mhm.
You need to be able to receive the vulnerability of others.
Yeah.
And there's a book I love. I love this book. This is the book. I challenge every single person tuning in today to read this book. It is a short book. You can do it in under 4 hours. It's called The Go Giver. And there's 5 laws in this book. One of the laws is the law of receptivity.
Mhm.
And you have to be able to receive. You can't give without receiving.
Mhm.
You can't be vulnerable without receiving vulnerability. They go hand in hand. And I think a lot of us forget that we need to be open to receiving vulnerability from others.
Yeah.
And it really helps break these walls down. It helps situations, it helps relationships. I know with you and me over the last couple years, the more open, the more vulnerable, and just the hard things I've told you
Yeah.
has made our relationship bigger because you haven't judged me for them.
Mhm.
You received what I was trying to tell you. And then you were vulnerable back to me with your situation so we could relate
Yeah.
and we could build that trust and build that foundation together.
Yeah. Sharing, even if it's just like if I was upset with you about something, taking a moment and sharing how I felt when I was upset and why I was upset. Like allowing myself to share my feelings towards whatever it was that made me upset and kind of explaining that. Do you feel like you were able to receive it better versus me nagging and saying, stop doing that, or I hate it when you do that?
Absolutely, because it's now an honest conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what vulnerability is honesty.
Mhm. Um, so I took a few notes from Brene Brown because she's kind of the queen of vulnerability out there. She has the Power of Vulnerability TED Talk that she did that has
It's the most viewed
like
TED Talk in the world.
literally the most viewed TED Talk in the entire world. And if you haven't seen it, or even if you just haven't seen it lately, go back and watch it. I've seen it probably at least 20 times. And I just watched it again and even caught something new again off of it. But it's genius. But also one that was it.
It was on Netflix. She has a Netflix
Yeah,
special as well.
somebody told us about it.
So it was Brian
Brian.
that let us
Yeah,
know
Brian
about it.
let us know about the one that's on Netflix, and that one was even better.
Yeah,
Like,
because
she just topped herself.
I think the one with Netflix is she was more relaxed
Mhm.
and just for better reason of just she was just her
Yeah.
during that show. She wasn't pressured because it was a TED Talk or
Mhm.
anything. It was just her.
Yeah. So, but yeah, she has done multiple studies for years and years and years on vulnerability. But a couple notes that I just kind of jotted down that I would love to share that kind of turned the light bulb on for me again, um, was courage, compassion, and connection equal vulnerability.
Say those again.
Courage, compassion, and connection equal vulnerability,
S-
or vice versa.
So let's break that down real fast.
Mhm.
The first one is courage.
Courage.
You have to be courageous enough to share those hard truths.
Mhm.
You have to be courageous enough to accept and receive someone else's hard truths. Sometimes that is harder to hear somebody else's hard truths than sharing your own.
Mhm. She even shared the definition of the old definition of courage, which is doing something wholeheartedly,
I love that. Yeah.
which was really, really cool.
What's the next one?
Compassion.
And compassion.
You have to be compassionate enough to share your vulnerability, but also to receive it.
And compassion is love at its root.
Mhm.
You have to be open to receive and give that true love, that compassion to another human being.
Mhm. Yeah. And connection. Connection is vulnerability. Vulnerability is connection.
Yeah, you have to be able to connect with the people that you're sharing it with
Mhm.
and connect to the person that's sharing it with you.
Yeah. And when you're vulnerable with somebody, you connect with them.
Yeah. And I think if you take any of these three and you go down the road and see what's happening, we have all of a sudden the connection and the vulnerability of everything going together. And we have little
We
Rufus
have a
trying to
little,
trying to sneak in the door
we
here.
have a little visitor. The door doesn't completely close.
So, okay. Well, back on track here.
Back on track.
We had our compassionate Rufus stick his nose in the door.
Okay. So the other thing with vulnerability, the core of vulnerability can often show as shame and fear. because your shame and fear keep you from being vulnerable.
Let's sit for a second.
Yeah.
Your shame and fear keep you from being vulnerable.
Mhm.
So, I mean, let's talk about that word shame.
Mhm.
Shame is the reason that addicts are addicts for so long. They're ashamed of what they're doing. They don't want to admit it. But one of the steps as you go through it is admitting what you've done and being vulnerable with those that you've hurt.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The fear of how people might react
Yeah.
to you when you're vulnerable or when you share some of your vulnerability, that fear that they're going to judge you or that they're not going to see you the same way again.
When I think fear, we can also use the word stigma
Yeah.
correlated with that is because there's a stigma around if I share this, I'm going to have this or this happen, or people are going to say this about me. So it's that fear of society looking at you and giving you a label
Yeah.
or looking at you and saying, you're this type of person. And that fear usually drives so much of our lives. And so when you're able to take that fear and set it aside and replace it with that courage
Hmm.
and replace it with that connection and that compassion, then the fear is gone.
Yeah.
Fear is healthy.
It is
Don't get
healthy.
us wrong. Fear is something that teaches us. Fear is an emotion that teaches us things.
Mhm. Fear is what we think keeps us safe.
Yeah,
We fear the things that will hurt us.
yeah. But with pushing that fear aside and being courageous enough, the things that can enrich your life, change your life, influence your life is infinity.
Yeah. It is the ultimate goal.
It is. And that really kind of rolls up to the second thing we kind of wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it's the fear of revisiting days, revisiting events. So I'm gonna let you take this really fast.
Okay.
So in AA,
You may.
and I'll let you take this because you were the AA queen. I did not work with AA,
Yeah.
but
I had 12 steps.
in your 12 steps in your AA, you guys celebrate what's called a birthday.
Yes. It's a rebirth day.
So elaborate on what that day is
Mhm.
and why it's important to celebrate it, and then we'll kind of go a little bit deeper into the subject.
Yeah. So the rebirth day is your anniversary of your sobriety day, the first day you completed fully sober without any mind altering substances. And we use it as a rebirth celebration because when you enter into recovery, your entire life changes. And you have to change your entire life to stay in recovery.
Yeah,
And you almost have to change everything about yourself, everything that you think about yourself, everything that you do, your your routines, the people that you surround yourself with. You have to change all of that. And change is extremely uncomfortable, but you have to get uncomfortable to change. And we try to celebrate that. And it does correlate with making the decision that you're going to change. So we celebrate that you made the decision, that you were willing to change, and we celebrate that first day of sobriety. And I mean, I'm sure plenty of people know they do the chips or the coins, which are a 24 hours, which is your first huge celebration.
right.
And then you do a 30-day, a 60-day, a 90-day, and then it jumps into a year to 18 months and then annually after that.
And so I just want to say with me, I didn't agree with this because for me, it was, why am I celebrating the worst day of my life? Because most of the time, your first day of sobriety
Sucks.
is the worst day you've had in your life that you can remember. And again, with me, I didn't want to celebrate that first day of being sober because I wanted to celebrate when I finally got into recovery.
Mhm,
The sober thing with me is like, oh, I'm just not using or I'm not doing anything. And so I had a hard time with this
mhm,
until a recent conversation with our wonderful therapist, Emily.
mhm. How did she change your mind?
And so we talked about this. And so you guys in the 12-step program,
Mhm.
again, you call it a birthday. It's your rebirth.
Yes.
And so little history, just kind of everybody going on here. So March 24th of 2024 was the day that I almost was not here anymore.
Yeah.
I did survive and I am here now. During this time of year, we're getting close. Your body keeps score. And there's a book about that. The body keeps score.
We've talked about it.
But my body goes into almost survival mode again.
Yeah.
And it scares me. I don't want, until this conversation, which was only a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
I didn't want to celebrate that day. That was the worst day that I've ever had.
Yeah.
That was my lowest point. I'm like, why in the world do I want to celebrate that day? That
Mhm.
day was awful. That day was so painful. That day was just, there's almost no words to explain it.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, why does anybody think that's a good thing? And so we talked about that. And I told Emily my thoughts and my feelings, just like I just shared it with you guys. And she says, you've got to change your perspective.
Mhm.
That is the day that you survived. That was the first day of your new life on this earth
Yeah.
because you survived for a reason. And now you need to use that power to keep going forward.
Mhm.
And when she said that, it took a minute to settle in. It took a minute to just like, oh, that was the first day of me living,
Mhm.
really living. Because when that was the day I was finally vulnerable to ask for help.
Yeah. Everything was stripped away from you.
Everything, like it was raw.
Mhm.
I mean, there's still painful memories around that day.
Yeah.
But now I'm so excited for this year because what we talked about in the 12 step, it's a rebirth, it's a celebration.
Mhm.
And what she says we need to do is we need to take and make new memories, celebrate it, have a cake, have a party, because guess what? It is a celebration that guess I'm still here and I get to enjoy my life. I get to enjoy my family at a whole new level
Mhm.
that I never thought was possible.
Yeah.
And that's
That's what we do in the 12 steps. I mean, I've been to multiple birthday meetings where people brought cake or balloons or, you know.
just different things.
Yeah.
And so what we want to talk about is again being vulnerable to get to that point.
Mhm.
You're at your lowest point and you're at the most vulnerable you've ever been in your life. You need to celebrate being that. We've all had moments. Some of us not that drastic. We've all had those low points in our lives. And we need to look back and celebrate them and replace them. This is the key.
Mhm.
It's replace them with good, funny, or better memories.
Yeah.
We had a guest on here a handful of months ago, Rachel. She's phenomenal. We love Rachel.
It was a year ago.
It was almost a year ago.
Yeah, she was one of our first.
And she talked about there was a certain spot that in here in Utah that was just an awful spot for her. It was a bad memory. Bad things
A
happened there.
traumatic event
Traumatic
happened.
event.
Mhm.
And so what she did is she had her little grandson pee on this area. And so
Because
now
she needed to change.
he needed to change it. And so she had him pee on the area where this traumatic event happened to make it a funny
Mhm.
memory. Now she has a funny memory of this place. Every time she thinks about it, all she thinks about is her little grandson peeing on this area.
Mhm.
And so it can be something simple as just changing the memory by doing something fun,
Mhm.
celebrating, but making it purposeful
And positive.
and positive.
Mhm.
So this year, I have a whole new outlook. I mean, a couple weeks ago, before I met with Emily, I was scared to death. I was not ready for this to come up again.
Yeah.
I was scared because every time my body remembers and I go into fight or flight mode,
Mhm.
really, and just kind of either recluse or get really stressed out. And it's kind of happening a little bit. And I can feel my body tensing up, and I know you can see it.
Yeah.
But now we're working on replacing some good memories. So we have two good things that we've set up for this year.
Mhm.
One is 3 days before, and one is the day after. Unfortunately, it wasn't anything, but we have two of our favorite music artists
Mhm.
coming to town. And we're going to both concerts. They're 4 days apart.
Yeah.
One is right before and one's after. One we've never seen. We've waited for them for a couple years now to see them, and that's Sultan and Shepherd.
Mhm.
And their music, and I've talked about one of their songs, Ray, that was a big part, and I'll Be Here. Those two songs have been a big part of my recovery journey and really inspired me.
Mhm.
And so I'm so excited to see them live and feel their energy and
Mhm.
take that energy, because theirs is before the event. Theirs is before that day.
Yeah.
And I want to take that energy and remember it and push it through the next couple days
Yeah.
following.
They're the ones that are a little more mellow too, so
They
it's like
are.
a build up.
And then the day after, we have one of our new favorite artists that we've seen in Red Rocks last year, and that's Vandalux.
Uh,
And he is just this dude who loves to play music.
yeah.
He has such a good vibe. He just loves to play music. He loves the energy, loves the crowd. And so the day after, we get to go see him,
Mhm.
and as a celebration and dance and
Yeah.
just have fun. So
Yeah.
we have put a couple things in place. And the funny thing is these were unintentional
Yeah.
at first. We didn't realize
That
that
they
they
were
were
landing
they
on
were
that
they were
basis.
sandwiching the date,
Yeah.
until I actually had this conversation with Emily and started talking what we can do. I'm like, "Oh, well, we have this and this." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, look at what we've done."
Yeah.
So, unintentionally, my mind was trying to replace the negative effects of this day
Mhm.
and replace them with positive ones.
Yeah.
I'm super excited now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we want to challenge everybody out there. You all have had these bad experiences, these bad places, these bad days. I want to challenge you as you come to these places, or as these days come up again for you this year. Let's celebrate them.
Mhm.
Let's replace them with positive energy, with new memories, with funny memories. And I want to hear about them,
Yeah.
because we want to celebrate them with you.
Absolutely.
And I want to hear the first person that goes peas on the place that was a bad memory. I want to hear about it, because just make
That was one of my favorites
it
that
was
I've heard
definitely
about.
fun.
Yeah.
And so that's where vulnerability can take you.
Yeah.
When you're at your lowest and you're broken down, you are vulnerable.
Mhm.
And that's when the change comes.
Mhm.
That's when the courage comes. That's when the real connection comes. And that's when the compassion comes.
Mhm. So another thing that unfortunately us as Americans are suffering from today is the lack of vulnerability, and what it is actually causing today from the lack of vulnerability is us to numb ourselves.
Yeah.
We're trying to numb away our vulnerability, and we're doing that by putting ourselves in debt, spending, buying things that we don't need. We're doing it through drugs, whether they're medications or hard drugs. We're doing it with alcohol, and we're doing it with food. And we are literally trying to numb our vulnerability away. And that's why I feel like this topic is so great, how we've kind of compacted it together here with the vulnerability, with celebrating our vulnerabilities, and also celebrating our hardships.
Yeah.
We made it through that. We learned from that and we grew from that.
Yeah.
So it, it's funny that you say it that you feel it coming on. That's so completely normal. I'm 12 years into recovery, and every time I get around my rebirth date, I still feel that. But through the years, I have been able to replace those memories with good ones.
Well, one way you replace it, I just have to throw it out there,
Mhm.
is my sober birthday from alcohol
Yeah.
is your birthday.
It's my
Your
my
real
belly button birthday.
Yep, and so that helps,
Yeah.
replacing it with fun memories. For me, that helps me because that was another monumental day
Really,
for me,
really bad day for you.
but now I get to celebrate you
Mhm.
on that bad day.
Yeah.
So, I just wanna throw that out there. I thought that's always been a fun
Yeah.
thing for us after we met and
It kinda
figured that
was.
out. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, for you to feel this heaviness and just kind of feeling out of sorts, that is really so completely normal. I still feel it every year, and some years it's worse than others where I feel off, or I feel like like I'm an imposter.
Yeah.
Why there, especially being an addict in recovery, I have so many people in my life that did not make it. And I've had the imposter syndrome of, why was I the one that made it? And a lot of those feelings come up during that time. Um, a lot of the feelings of, I'm not doing this the way I'm supposed to. I'm not going to enough meetings, or I'm not sponsoring enough people. I'm not reaching out enough. I'm not reading my big book. I'm not, all the things that they tell us to do. But at the same time, I'm still sober. I'm still present for my family. I'm still going to work and I'm suiting up and I'm showing up. It's not about perfection, it's about progress.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to look forward to, is the progress.
So, I'm gonna throw a complete curveball to you,
Okay.
and if you're not comfortable answering, that's okay.
Okay.
But we talked about how this affects us
Mhm.
and how it is a celebration for us. We have these bad memories.
Mhm.
But guess what, everybody? When bad things happen to you, it doesn't just affect you. It affects the people around you, your family, your friends, your coworkers, depending on the situation. There are other people affected by what is going on. We're all connected. There's that word again, connected.
Mhm.
So I want to ask you, and for you for that day, and we don't need to go into the details, but I feel that you need a celebration that day as well, because that's a hard day for you. And we've really never talked about that, of why it's important that you need to be part of it,
Mhm.
not just for me. So share with me why you feel, what what encourages you, or what do you need on this day coming up to celebrate, to do a new memory? What's going to help you?
Well, I'll break it down a little bit for you. Um, the we'll start with the feelings that I had in the moment of when it happened, and how that has changed. So the feelings that I was feeling in the moment was that I'd let you down, that I had failed in supporting you, that I wasn't enough. I felt that I didn't do my job as a spouse of knowing something was wrong, but that's human. Um, that is absolutely human. I felt guilty, and all of these types of feelings come up with anyone that is a survivor of suicide, whether it was a family member, a friend. We all have those feelings. And what I get to celebrate today is that you now feel comfortable enough to come and talk to me when you are struggling. That I get to not fix you, but encourage you. I get to celebrate with you, but also cry with you. And I get to celebrate that you trust me enough to be vulnerable with me and to connect with me and share when you're struggling. And the sense of pride that I have for you in that is more than enough to celebrate.
You're gonna make me
I'm
cry.
gonna make you cry.
But thank you. Thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that with me and with everybody today.
Yeah.
But what do you need
What about
coming up? What will help you replace some of those thoughts and those feelings continuing going forward to make this a celebration day? What can I do for you that will help that this year?
just continue to be open with me and continue to share with me. That's all I ask for. That's all I've ever asked for.
Well, and I can say now that that's easy.
Yeah,
It wasn't before.
I know.
It wasn't before at all.
Yeah.
But you're asking me to do something that's easy and that we try to do every day.
It's easy, but it's sometimes it's still hard.
It is.
Sometimes it is still hard.
But I know that the outcome is going to be different now
Yeah.
because I understand by being vulnerable, your walls are broken down to
Mhm.
help with the situation.
Yeah.
So thank
But you also have to tell me not to fix it
yes.
because
Well,
women try to fix it.
well, and so do men. I am notorious. If anybody knows me, I am Mr. I want to fix it.
Mr. Fix It.
If it is a physical problem or a mental problem or any type of issue,
Yeah.
I want to be the guy to help. I've been the fixer my whole life.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I've
yeah.
learned that I've stepped back a little bit from being that and it's good.
Yeah.
So, well, everybody,
Wow.
what an episode.
I got some closing statements for us.
I love it.
Okay. So the last thing that Brene Brown closes her power of vulnerability with, I have to share it because it's so epic. Um, so in vulnerability, we have to let ourselves be seen and we have to let ourselves be loved. We have to let ourselves and allow ourselves to have joy. And we have to let ourselves be enough.
One more time.
One more time.
One
Okay.
more time.
We have to let ourselves be seen. We have to let ourselves be loved. We have to let ourselves have and feel joy. And we have to let ourselves be enough.
I love that.
I do too.
That is, I mean, we couldn't end on a better note right there.
I know. I'm sorry, Brene
But,
Brown. I stole it.
but everybody, we want you to take this information and apply it to some part of your life. There is a part of your life still that you're probably struggling with being vulnerable. It could be at home, it could be at work, it could be a friend relationship that's maybe strained. I want you to think about your life
Mhm.
and where you can apply vulnerability a little bit and take a stab at it.
Yeah. Test it out.
Test it out. Be courageous.
Mhm.
Show the compassion and get that connection and see what happens.
Yeah. I want to share that if you've heard anything in this episode, please share it with a friend, a family member, a coworker, anybody. That's how we continue to keep doing this.
Being vulnerable with you guys helps us all navigate these challenges and survive these pickles of life.
Mhm.
And last thing is, if you have one of those moments like we talked about, we want to hear about it.
Mhm.
What are you doing to celebrate a bad memory where you want to change the perspective? What are you doing to that place that just has that icky feeling when you think about it? Let's replace those memories. Let's celebrate those days of being the most vulnerable we've been
Mhm.
because that is where that connection comes. That is where that compassion comes. And that is where that courage comes from.
Mhm.
And as we roll out of here and finish up, one thought just came to me before we close.
Okay.
Hillary's had the experience of working in the
The mental health industry.
mental health industry and treatment centers for 10 plus years now.
Yes. Mhm.
She has had the opportunity. She did a job called Frontline
Mhm.
and Sober Companions. And what these jobs are is you frontline, you're meeting with these people when they come in very first into the treatment centers.
Yep.
They are at that moment. They have just had that vulnerable moment. They're there. They're at their lowest point. So you get the opportunity, and we've had therapists on our shows that have said it is such a joy and opportunity to be there at that moment with these people. You've also had some amazing experiences that I always thought back on. I'm like, how can you do this? It's so much, it's so
A
taxing,
lot.
it's so overwhelming. But you have spent weekends with people as a sober companion where they have come into treatment and they have been at their absolute lowest point in their life.
Mhm.
And you have sat on couches, on floors, on chairs, and had these vulnerable, courageous, compassionate, connecting conversations with people that are not in your normal life,
Yeah.
that are, they live a completely different style of life.
Mhm.
And you have been able to connect with these people and have those vulnerable moments. And you've been able to share your stories with them,
Mhm.
and they've been able to share with you. And it's powerful that you've been able to do that. And now I'm thinking about it just really right now of how amazing that must have been. Before I just like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's a lot to be there for somebody at that point in their life. But wow, the blessings and the information and the joy and the knowledge you gain from being there with them, sharing and receiving,
Mhm.
it's got to be incredible.
It really is. It is definitely a gift to witness and a gift to just be there and sit with somebody
Yeah.
when they are sick
When they have
and
nobody else.
hurting and lonely and tired and angry and just completely broken down to the absolute core. When somebody is in fight or flight mode, when somebody is down to those basic instincts. Every single time I did it, it reminded me of when I was in that moment. And every time I shared something that I would have wanted to hear when I was in that moment. Because there were a few times I was in that moment. I was not a one and done girl. I was a retread. I had to go through it multiple times. And there there were some moments that stuck out to me that people had said things to me, and one of the ultimate moments I feel like were a lot of the people that were in the treatment centers that I was in and saying, "I went through this and I can help you." Just that relation and just knowing that somebody who was very similar to me, somebody who went through that same thing and were able to come out of it, for them to share that, it definitely gives you that hope.
Yeah.
And it was an absolute pleasure and one of the greatest gifts, like I said, to be able to share that with somebody else as well. So,
Well, and to finish it right out here, there's a song by our amazing, amazing artist, Jelly Roll.
mhm.
It's called Winning Streak.
Okay.
And he starts that song off as he's sitting in an AA meeting,
Mhm,
and an older guy that has been there for 20 plus years is sitting there and says, "Hey man, none of us walk through the door as a winner.
mhm.
We all have to start somewhere." And so, guess what, everybody? You got to start somewhere to be vulnerable. You got to start somewhere to replace those bad memories, to replace those situations. This is the year to do it.
Mhm,
This is the year that everybody is shedding that skin. I cannot remember what the Chinese year it said was,
mm,
but last year was the year of the snake,
mhm.
and this year is something new. It's
The
like
horse.
it's the horse, and it's shedding that skin. It's galloping. It's taking on. It's taking charge. It's being strong.
All the planets were aligned the other day. All the stars are out. Come on, people. There's something in the air this year
Yep.
with all of those planets aligned, whether you're feeling it heavily or feeling it as a movement, there's something there, something with this year.
Yeah.
So, and I think there's a lot of people out there. I want to add one more thing as well. If you feel like you have no one to be vulnerable with, give us a call, give us a text, give us an email, reach out to us. We're here for you as well.
Yeah. And you can find all of that information on our website, survivinglifespickles.com, as how to get a hold of us. We're here for you. And we'll continue to beat this horse because this horse will always be there for you. And that's 988
Yeah.
people. 988 is available 24/7, 365 days a year to call or text. I've used it personally for myself. I've used it personally for friends. I've used it personally for other family members. Use 988 if you don't feel like there's nobody else, because guess what? There is somebody. You are loved.
Mhm.
And 988 is there to help you through that.
It is.
So, again, thank you so much. We are so grateful for everybody tuning in this week. We are so excited to share this episode with you. This information has really been sitting on our hearts for a few weeks, and we were finally able to sit down and share this guy with everybody.
Yeah.
We know, as Hillary said, that somebody in your life needs to hear this information. Please share this episode with a family member, a friend, a coworker, or maybe even a complete stranger that you can see needs a little hope in their life and needs to learn a little bit about vulnerability and replacing negative with positive. So share this episode. Let's increase the Pickle Posse community. We want everybody to be part of this. We want to enrich everybody's lives, and we want to hear about it from you guys. So please comment. Please let us know how you're doing. Let us know how these episodes are affecting you. We are so excited to continue doing this for all of you. We can't wait to see you until next week. And don't forget, between now and then, we love all of you, and we know that you are
A
a
big
big
deal.
deal.